welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about feeling lost or feeling like you have no direction. I know that I hit this point a couple days ago, honestly, and just was so overwhelmed by all the noise and everything that was happening that I decided that I wanted to kind of share how I grounded myself and make this video to share my experience with you. So if you like videos like this or you have more questions, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell for notifications, and I'd love to have comments or get the conversation started on how you guys end up getting grounded and figuring it all out. But I just thought I would share my story and hopefully we can all get through this together. Okay, so feeling lost and directionless is a very helpless feeling, and I actually brought my friend Kristoff. If you've seen Frozen 2, he sings about being lost in the woods, so I thought this was appropriate. But I just feel like, you know, even in his song he talks about how which is the right way to go, which is, you know, the right thing to do, and it's really hard in moments of either change or you've lost something to figure out what that right answer is for you. And one of the things I was thinking about is if you've ever been to a workshop or even just school, I feel like a lot of times people always ask you, if money was not a question, what would you do with your life? And I think this question really hit me when, you know, my life kind of came crumbling to a different place than it is. And I really had to think about it. If I was okay, money is not an option, what do I want my life to look like? What things do I want for myself out of life? What do I want to continue to work on? And it really gave me a reality check of, hey, it's okay to not know. And it's okay to be panicking a little bit. And it's okay to cry. It really is, because feeling lost is such a dark place and you don't know which way to get out of the hole. If you're in a dark hole and you're trying to find the exit, it's how do I get out of here the best way? Do I throw a rope? Do I call someone? What do I do to get out of this place? And I just feel like feeling lost and directionless is something that we've all been through. It's something that a lot of us are going through right now with this time, and just grounding yourself and first off asking yourself, you know, what do you want out of life? So start there. Like I said, you know, if money was an option, what would you do with your life? The second thing I did is I started just writing it all down. Little things. For me personally, you know, I would love to one day, you know, be married and have a kid, and I would love to one day write a book, and I would love one day to give a TED Talk, and these are things that are important to me and that I want to continue forward doing. But for everyone it's completely different, and there is no wrong answer. There is no wrong answer. So just write it down, cry it out, and even if you can't decide on big things like that, start small. Start so tiny. What is my favorite food? What is my favorite color? What is my favorite animal? Just start somewhere where you're really just tuning in with yourself. I think that's the one thing that kind of we get overwhelmed or we get lost with, is not knowing who we are. And that's not the case when we're lost. We think that you know, our whole life has changed, our labels have changed, we don't know who we are, you know, we've put so much into our job or into our relationships or whatever we've put it into that we just are so overwhelmed that we don't know who we are anymore. But the truth is you as a person, you haven't changed. And technically your label hasn't changed either, maybe to other people, but you know, whether I'm with someone and I'm a good girlfriend or whether I'm not with someone, I know I'm still a good girlfriend in the end. It's just one of those things that you have to be confident in yourself that you know that's what you need and you know that's who you are. And sometimes it is hard. It is hard to dig deep and figure that out about yourself, but that's why I always start small. Or I have my friends, you know, I'll call them and I'll be like, hey, ask me simple questions. What do you want to eat right now? Or what shoes are you wearing? What, you know, just little things. The point is to just kind of see where your heart is and kind of come back to yourself and just really ground yourself and really think about what's important to you. Because when you're feeling lost, you could have too many options, which is one reason you're feeling directionless or lost, because you don't know which one's the right answer to choose. Or you could feel like everything's been taken away from you, and then you feel lost or directionless because, I mean, truly though, in that case, you still have so many options, but you feel like you have none because what you wanted has now been taken. So just be kind to yourself. Take deep breaths, ground yourself, know who you are, talk to friends, journal, watch movies that are familiar to you. Find that happy place so that you can figure out the next step. For me, I had a lot of things that I had, I'll say changed, because they weren't really taken away, but things that had changed in my life in the past 2 weeks. And I had a full-blown, I'm not gonna lie to you, crying event, because I was just so confused and so scared and so lost. And one of my best friends, she said, Kaitlyn, you've lived in 4 states and where you've started from scratch. Why are you panicking? And that question really grounded me, because I was like, you're right. I've lived in New York, I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Texas, I've lived in Oklahoma, and all these things, I packed up my entire life and started from scratch. There's only one move, minus my move to college, that I've done with a job already intact. Most of them I just moved and made it work when I got there. And so why was this any different? And it was just the fact that I had gotten so comfortable that I wasn't ready for the change. I wasn't expecting it. The change wasn't in my personal control. And that's where it was hard. But I think that if we can all just take a deep breath, come together, talk to each other. We're not the only ones feeling lost. There's a million of us feeling very lost right now. And just start applying for things. Start doing things you love, whether you're making money from it or not. I've started knitting up again, and I've started painting, and I'm not making money off of either of them. I just enjoy them. Just do those things to really find yourself. Do those things that make you happy, because from happiness will stem the direction you're supposed to go. Because once you can get grounded and centered, you will feel what is right. Marie Kondo always says, find the joy. And I know she's usually talking about objects, but this is kind of the same case. You have to find the joy in your life, and you have to find what makes you happy. And once you get down to the root of your thoughts, you'll be able to know. Because someone will ask you hey, do you want to be an accountant? And you're like, for me personally, that would not make me happy. And that's okay. That's good. Start branching out, thinking of other things, asking friends what they're doing with their life. Just do the research and really take the time for yourself, and make sure to set boundaries so that you have time to think about it. You have time to process it. I feel like that's been my biggest thing, is I've had to tell a lot of people no, and I can't talk to you right now. And it's not that I don't love these people, it's just that I truly have had so many things happen that I haven't even fully processed it all. Even making this video, I know for a fact there are still a couple things that I'm still working through processing, but I also know that I'm gonna get there, and that I made a plan B for myself. And if life pans out one way, I have one direction to go, and if it pans out the other way, I have a different direction to go. So for me, laying down different plans makes me feel secure, because I feel like no matter what happens, at least I have a game plan. So if you're feeling lost, I'm giving you a huge hug through the screen, and just be kind to yourself. Take the day slow. Really ask yourself those questions though, of what makes you happy, and what direction do you want your life to take? And it can be something insane, or I want to be the first, astronaut who brings their pet pig on the moon. It doesn't have to be anything that's not genuinely yourself, because it's people always say, you take a dream and you make goals and you just accomplish the goals, which makes your dream come true. So I just want to keep inspiring you to keep going. If you're feeling lost, just talk it out, call your friends, journal, ground yourself, and keep going. That's all I can ask. And remember, it's nice to be nice. Everyone's fighting their own battles, especially right now. So just be kind to one another. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye, everyone.